Hi there, Linda Artisani from Artisani Accounting and the Proper Trust. Today's topic is truly a topic I think everybody really knows deep down in their heart, and it's about financial organization. So I'm talking to you, if you're an attorney that's kind of got everything in a spreadsheet, it's all kind of stretched out and in multiple places, or maybe you're using a desktop product, maybe you're using an online product for some things, and you're kind of making uh, redundant systems work or manage to work as best you can. Or maybe you're that attorney that has your records really not organized at all. And at the end of the year, the tax person dumps out the bank feeds and tries to make sense out of it. So if you're that person, I'm going to help you organize, especially if you're new and maybe you're just starting out. I want to help you organize and give you a blueprint for legal success. So if you've just started working in your own firm, you know that if you're just starting out by yourself, you were in a big firm and now you're on your own, that beginning of getting started is scary. It's really scary. You left maybe a 9 to 5 job, probably not 9 to 5, but a job where you got to pay and maybe benefits. And now you're on your own. And as exciting as it sounds, it's scary at the same time. So you'll find that you have to juggle or wear a lot of hats, as we like to say. You'll be the marketer, you'll be the person taking care of the phone calls, the intake, all the jobs that you probably had handled by somebody in the bigger firm. You'll have to stay up to date with changing laws and regulations. And amid all those demands, you're going to have to look at taking care of your accounting records. So it always seems to be that, I think it's really found to be that after effect. You don't really think about it until maybe it's too late. Or maybe you've got it started out in a spreadsheet and that seemed manageable, and then you quickly find out that as your firm grows, it becomes really quickly unmanageable. Am I talking to you? So it's important to maintain a well-organized financial system. How else are you going to know how your business is doing and if you're on the right path or trajectory? And the other reason is compliance. So we've got that other elephant in the room that we have to think about, and that's really important and critical for long-term legal success. I'm just going to give you a few steps that I recommend. Of course, you can do what you want with your firm, but if you're listening to this today, maybe you're just starting out, I'm hoping that this can help you just get started and get going on the right path. I know a budget is important, and I also know that when you're starting out, cash can be really tight and crunched, and your cash flow will be really restricted, but sometimes it's money well spent, especially as I start to go through this list. So my first tip or step is building a solid foundation. So you want to set up a solid foundation for starting your law practice. Organizing your finances is important right from the outset. And I can tell you, I've met many attorneys that started out, they think they're going to be able to handle it in a spreadsheet, and they quickly find out that maybe they can't, or maybe they even jumped into QuickBooks and realized that it's really over their head. As much as QuickBooks and back in the day, Danny DeVito said anybody can use it. It's a complex situation when you start to look at it from the legal lens. So having that well-structured financial system enables you to track income and your expenses accurately. And it also helps you maintain proper records for compliance purposes for the bank, for the tax person, for your clients, all of the above. And you really want to start from the very beginning, because maybe someday you do really well and you have to take on a partner. You want to be able to have a really stellar professional reputation. Of course, the second step is all about compliance and risk mitigation. We don't want to put ourselves out there. It's easy to start out where you start with a spreadsheet, and I see this all the time. Attorney will come to us, they'll have a spreadsheet for their trust accounting, and they'll have like this one overview page where maybe they dump the bank feeds into the spreadsheet, and then they start to divvy it out. This came from Mrs. Smith, this came from Mr. Jones, and you start to maybe make separate tabs on the page to track the ins and outflows of the trust. And that can get really messy. It can also tell you that a lot of times when an attorney gives me a spreadsheet because they realize it's become unmanageable, they find out that as I look at it, maybe the formulas aren't right, it doesn't add up. And those are the things you really want to watch out for. You want to minimize any non-compliance risk and any potential legal issues along the way, and any financial penalties. You never want to make your trust account be in the red or negative. That will automatically trigger an audit. You don't want to have that situation. And it's very easily it gets out of hand if you're trying to do it manually with a spreadsheet. I can tell you I've met quite a few people that think they've got it all figured out and they actually come to us and they really don't. It doesn't add up. So doing bookkeeping at 10:30 at night because you think you can handle it because you're busy during the day doing your law firm work is not a good choice, and it never resonates to accurate financial records. My next step is to tell you about strategic decision making. I like to say if you've got this messy file that's just full of data that's not really balanced, nobody's reconciled it, it's not accurate, how can I make a financial decision on it? It's garbage in, garbage out. It's my favorite line. If this is garbage, a lot of times clients will come to us and they'll say, I need help tracking KPIs and things of that nature. But then when we get into the records, we're like, I can't have you start to even go down that road till we fix the records and make them accurate. You just really can't make valuable decisions based on data that's not correct. And that's the biggest thing. And a lot of times we see clients come to us and they're using the bank feed as a tool and they're downloading the banking as income, legal income, but they're also have invoices out there and payments, and they're trying to manage all of this and they've duplicated their income. You don't want to have to pay taxes on income you haven't earned. And it's important to really get that foundation set up, get that chart of accounts put in, use an accounting software, have some assistance in this because it's not what you do. I couldn't practice law. Same thing. It's really something you want to let an expert help you with. The next step is, I call it workflow. Disorganized financial practices can consume valuable time and resources. So you start to hire, maybe you need help and you get a paralegal or a legal assistant helping you, and they're scrambling to find the invoices. Maybe you're doing them on Word, maybe the documents are scattered all out through your computer, and you just don't know where things are. And then when it comes time for financial records, it's even worse. So you want to have a structured financial system that streamlines your processes, minimizes your administrative burdens, and frees up the time for you, the lawyer, to practice law. Let your paralegals do the work that they do. Let them do paralegal work. They really shouldn't be doing bookkeeping work. No matter how nice that sounds, if they didn't go to school for that, they're probably not going to know where to put things. And you really want those accurate records. It's a lot cheaper to hire somebody now than to hire somebody to fix the mess. And the last step that I'm going to give you, and I'm sure I could come up with 10 more steps, but this last step is about scaling your practice and expansion. I can tell you firsthand, I've met so many wonderful people, humans, some beautiful people who started out, left a big firm, started on their own, and then it quickly became this snowball coming down the hill, and the snowball is getting bigger, and they didn't think it was going to escalate that quickly. And the financial organization becomes even more critical as your firm is growing or you aim to grow and expand. We have to start thinking about our goals and understand what we're going and where are we, where's the light at the end of the tunnel? What are we looking towards? And then start to put together a well-established financial system for firm growth. You don't want to be going from one software to another because you've grown out of it. Nobody wants to do that. It's just not smart business. For the few pennies more to buy the better system, you're much better off. It's a good investment in your firm. So that solid financial foundation will instill confidence in also potential in the investors or partners that are going to come your way. So you just never know where your business is going to turn, and it's good to have all that information nicely, I like to call it, wrapped up in a nice big bow on top. You've got it set up so that when the tax person calls, you can give them what they need, and you know the records are accurate. Let's face it, it's a fast-paced, demanding world working in the legal industry, and financial organization can't be in the back of your mind. It has to always be the top of your mind. Paying attention to those records is critical to help you be successful in your firm. I hope these steps were helpful, and I hope that this sets you on a path for a very profitable firm. Of course, if you need any help with this, we're here to help you. If you want to learn more, just hit that subscribe button and follow along for more. And on that note, we'll see you all next month. Bye now.